Now on Coast TV News.
Barking ban begins. The new law now in effect in Delaware and how it affects dog owners.
All revved up for OC Show.
I just love coming to car shows.
We get you ready for the annual Endless Summer Cruisin as the event starts today in Ocean City.
A chilly, breezy start to our Thursday. A beautiful afternoon as a fall chill will be in the air. All the latest on a potential coastal low that could impact Delmarva over the weekend.
Schwarber saves season.
That one is deep. Hernandez will watch it fly. It's another bomb. Kyle Schwarber.
The big night for the Phillies' big bad as they stay alive in the NLDS.
This is Coast TV News Today.
And we're starting our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. It is Thursday, October 9th, 2025.
Philly fans perhaps jamming to the Bee Gees this morning, staying alive.
No, and Chris, I think today he's going to take his nap after work. And Chris, I think you're going to watch the whole game tonight. I don't think you're going to be able to sleep.
No, I think I might be a little sluggish tomorrow morning. A big night for Philly sports fans. As we take a live look into Cambridge, we're seeing clear skies out there. It's a pleasant, dry, comfortable start. Remember, this time yesterday, stepping outside the door, it felt very humid, very tropical-like. We had the cold front that came through yesterday, wiped out the humidity, and you can see that 24-hour temperature change. We're about 20 degrees cooler Easton, 21 degrees cooler there in Salisbury, and you could feel it stepping outside the door this morning. We're holding at 51, Georgetown 49 in Salisbury, a bit milder at the coast, 58 in Rehoboth with that wind coming off the ocean. In fact, we're seeing some gusts upwards of 30 Indian River Inlet to 21 in Rehoboth Beach. So it's going to be a rather breezy day, especially at the beaches. High pressure to our north, keeping most of the northeast and mid-Atlantic dry, and we're going to see wall-to-wall sunshine today. A beautiful day in the 60s. Could potentially see some inland frost tonight as we go into early Friday, and then all eyes on the weekend for that threat of that coastal low that will bring rain, wind, and coastal flooding as well as beach erosion. Plenty of sunshine through the morning and the afternoon with highs topping out in the mid-60s. We'll talk more in depth about that coastal system over the weekend a little bit later on the newscast. Matt.
Thank you, Chris. And we are now taking a live look at Ocean City. Colorful cars are set to take over the town starting today, including the inlet area, but the event is also prompting new rules. That is our top story this hour. The annual Endless Summer Cruisin event is back in Ocean City. And on your screen right now is what it looked like in 2024. The four-day event showcases hundreds of different and unique cars, from hot rods to classics, trucks, and even some of the newest cars hitting the streets. Something one vacationer we spoke to says they love to see every year.
I just love coming to car shows and being around people and learning more about all the vehicles that they have and talking to people.
The event goes until Sunday night. A $15 ticket or $10 on Sunday gets you into the parking lots to check out the cool cars, and anyone under the age of 14 is free.
With the start of Endless Summer Cruisin, town leaders confirmed the implementation of a special event zone. According to police, enhanced parking rules and higher violation fines are going into place from today through October 12th. The town says it expects thousands of visitors and heavy congestion.
New this morning, improvement plans for a Millville healthcare facility. That's what's under consideration at the town's planning and zoning meeting tonight. According to the agenda, there is a proposal from BB Medical that outlines plans for parking lot improvements at the Creekside Plaza property. The project would add 14 new spaces and include a shared use parking easement. Now, here's why they want that. BB says the easement will help manage access and traffic flow. This is a site that is located off of Route 26.
Happening today in Georgetown, the latest of Delaware Governor Matt Meyer's statewide listening sessions on gun violence prevention. Meyer says the purpose of the session is to help develop policies and programs to drive down gun violence cases. In May, Meyer signed an executive order creating the Office of Gun Violence Prevention and Community Safety. Today's listening session is at 6 o'clock at the Delaware State Fire School on Park Avenue.
We have an update on that Pennsylvania State Police shooting. The NBC affiliate in the Harrisburg market is now reporting that the suspect who was shot is dead. 2 state troopers are in the hospital after being shot while responding to a call in Franklin County, Pennsylvania. The shooting happened around 6 p.m. Wednesday in Antrim Township. That is an area in south central Pennsylvania. It's just north of Hagerstown, Maryland. State police say both troopers are considered to be in critical and serious condition.
Happening today, barking dogs must now bite their tongues in Delaware. House Bill 124 takes effect. According to the legislation, dog owners are banned from allowing their dogs to bark for extended periods of time. The legislation describes this as continuously for 15 minutes or intermittently 30 minutes or more. While there are a few conditional exceptions, dog owners could be fined $150 for violations. And to see what those exceptions are, you can head to the article on CoastTV.com.
Also happening today, Sussex County Emergency Operations Center is recognizing its first responders. The agency says today is 911 Awareness Day. And on your screen is how county leaders recognize the day in 2024. Students from all over Sussex County were able to find out what it is like to serve as a first responder, and they learned about different first responder agencies. Deputy Director of Emergency Communication Ricky Short says one specific agency is often overlooked.
So a 911 dispatcher is a stressful job, it's a thankless job, and the people that do it love it. I mean, they thrive on that interaction with the community. They are the first responders.
And this is an annual event that has occurred since 2003 in Sussex County.
New this morning, financial literacy becomes a graduation requirement in Delaware. Governor Matt Meyer is set to sign House Bill 203 today at Delaware State University. According to Representative Jeff Holofsky, author and sponsor of Bill 203, it passed with bipartisan support. Event organizers say the signing will take place during Visa's financial football event, where students will team up with NFL legend Brian Westbrook to test their money management skills. That ceremony will begin at 10 a.m. at the Martin Luther King Jr. Student Center on campus.
Delaware Route 1 is about to get its first speed camera. DelDOT is installing it along southbound Route 1 by Conaway. That's where a number of roads are being constructed. They say anyone going over at least 11 miles over the speed limit will get caught by this camera. DelDOT says a 21-day warning period will start, but by November 11th, you will get fined $20 if you are 11 miles per hour over, plus an extra $1 for every mile over that. New overnight. Hostages may soon be home as Israel and Hamas agree to the first phase of President Trump's peace plan to end the war in Gaza. That includes releasing all the living hostages and the remains of the dead, and for Israeli troops to begin withdrawing from Gaza.
NBC's Alice Barr shows us how that news is bringing hope to Palestinians as well.
Celebrations in Israel as word spread of a deal to free the remaining hostages from Hamas captivity in Gaza, pause the fighting, and see Israel withdraw its troops to what President Trump called an agreed-upon line. He spoke overnight on Fox News about a conversation with Israel's prime minister.
I said, Israel cannot fight the world, baby. They can't fight the world. And he understands that very well. So it's amazing the way it's all come together, and it's a beautiful picture.
That following dramatic moments during an event earlier Wednesday when Secretary of State Marco Rubio handed the president a note and a whispered message.
I was just given a note by the Secretary of State saying that we're very close to a deal in the Middle East.
The Israeli cabinet set to vote today on the peace plan President Trump advanced. Approval would trigger the pullback of Israeli forces, with hostages expected to be released on Monday, according to a senior White House official.
What do you guys have to say to President Trump?
Thank you! Family members of some of the remaining 48 hostages sharing their gratitude to President Trump and their determination to see the deal through.
We will not stop fighting until we see the last of the 48 return to their family.
20 of those hostages are believed to still be alive and would be the first returned in exchange for Palestinian prisoners and desperately needed aid into Gaza. Israel and Hamas so far only agreeing to phase 1 of a 20-point plan to bring a final end to 2 years of devastating war. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Planning for the future is the focus today in Frankfort. That's according to the Planning and Zoning Commission. The agenda confirms that the group will meet today to review its 5-year comprehensive plan. Town leaders could make revisions to its land development section of the town code as well, and all of this will take place at 6 o'clock.
Staying Alive is the theme song this morning. Kyle Schwarber with 2 home runs on the night. Phillies win Game 3 of the National League Divisional Series by an 8-2 score over the Dodgers. And the Phils now trail the best-of-5 affair, 2-1. Game 4 tonight at Dodger Stadium. First pitch is scheduled for 6:08, and we'll have more in Game 3 later on Coast TV News Today.
And we're just getting started in this hour of Coast TV News Today.
Coming up, self-sufficient forest. What are the next steps for work taking place at the 4th Street Preserve in Lewis after discussions this week?
Also, roadway safety review at town leaders in Easton say they are pushing for after a deadly crash over the weekend.
And Hornets honor history. Members from the 1985 MEAC champion Delaware State University football team are holding a reunion on Friday. How their coach changed the course of life for players and developed a lasting bond. This week's Coastal Connection is next. One of the greatest football seasons in Delaware State University history took place 40 years ago. And in this week's Coastal Connections, on the eve of the reunion of this team, we look at how a coach with strong ties in Lewis was able to bring together a group of men, change their lives, and establish lifelong friendships and memories.
As you look at Bill Collick, their first-year head coach.
And what a first season it was in 1985. When it concluded, Delaware State had their first conference championship in 26 years. Collick was named MEAC Coach of the Year. However, for the former Cape Henlopen High School student, teacher, and coach, the season could have played out in Harrisonburg, Virginia, and not in Dover. Following the 1984 campaign, the Hornets head coach Joe Przicki took the job at James Madison.
You were the defensive.
Collick was his defensive coordinator at the time.
He really wanted to take all of us with him, and it sounded exciting. However, I was married, and my wife was expecting with our second child, and I had worked at BB for a while, and she said to me one day, you know, this whole football thing can be fleeting.
Soon after he told Przicki no, he told Delaware State yes to taking the role as the Hornets head coach.
I was excited because Coach was my defensive coordinator when I was at Cape Henlopen High School. So, you know, when we found out that Coach was going to be the head coach, I mean, I was just ready and just ready to go.
Number 98 for the Hornets, Tim Gray, was a standout player at Cape Henlopen. With Collick as his assistant coach, he helped lead the Vikings to the 1979 state championship, and that connection helped in the recruiting process.
I was reluctant because I had my mind set on going into the Army, active duty. And, you know, Coach in his way of saying, he said, you know, Timmy Gray, you know, you'll be the first in your family to go to college. First generation.
After a loss in their 8th game, the Hornets traveled to Baton Rouge for a nationally televised matchup with traditional, historically black college and university power Southern.
It's just totally different. I mean, the way we did the walkthrough, the way there's media everywhere, and you know what I mean? It's just different, you know, which also meant that we were important because we were here.
We just went down there and we just basically destroyed them. You know, and you know, Southern, you know, their band was again well known. So probably after the 3rd quarter, they was playing for us and not them.
As the game comes to an end, the final score 46-8.
The Hornets would finish the regular season with a 9-2 record, ranked 12th in the nation, champions of the MEAC, and awaiting the announcement of a spot in the Division I AA playoffs. An announcement that never came.
You do everything you're asked to do. You show up early, you show up on time, you're prepared, you do what you're supposed to do, and it's almost like, okay, so where are the football gods and tell us, okay, you guys are in. And it just didn't work that way. So it took a while for us to be able to let that go and really get back and enjoy and embrace the MEAC championship.
But embrace it they have over the years, and now, on this milestone anniversary, they will head to Dover for a reunion.
Whenever you get the chance to see them, you know, you cherish that moment. You know, 40 years, I mean, whew, that's a minute. 40 years. And like I said, you know, we all been blessed, and hopefully God will see us through it, that, you know, we get to see each other on the 10th.
10 days into October to remember a time 40 years ago.
The game comes to an end.
When this group made history and formed an everlasting bond. For Coastal Connections, I'm Matt Pensick.
With the long travel from...
It is 6:19, and you are looking live at the pre-sunrise scene in Salisbury. And we start this morning, Chris. It feels like fall. I know we're in fall, but we have that chill out there that we haven't had for a little while.
Oh yeah, that cold front did us good yesterday. Wiped the humidity right out to sea, and we're seeing much drier conditions across the area this morning. In fact, look at the temperature change over the last 24 hours. We're about 21 degrees cooler in Salisbury, 18 degrees cooler in Georgetown, 22 degrees cooler in Dover. We're at 46 Harrington, 48 in Milford. Bit milder at the coast with the wind coming off the Atlantic, 58 in Rehoboth and 59 in Bethany Beach. We're seeing some gusts upwards of 30 Indian River Inlet out of the north-northeast. So it's going to be a breezy morning and afternoon. That has prompted the coastal flood advisories. Could see up to a foot of inundation through the high tide cycle over the next day to two, and that runs through Friday at 3 o'clock. Also, storm watches are up for the coastal waters of the Atlantic all the way through Monday, and that is for our potential coastal storm over the weekend. Frost advisories, yes, they're getting ever so closer to the Delmarva Peninsula. Those are north and west of the I-95 corridor. Well, we're pretty quiet throughout much of the east, all thanks to high pressure over Canada. That's going to be pushing east through the next few days. So we're seeing plenty of sunshine today, well below average, and we're going to stay dry through at least the start of the weekend. And then all eyes point to that coastal storm threat late Saturday through Monday. It's all going to be about the track and intensity, potential impacts, heavy rain, high winds, coastal flooding, and beach erosion as we go into the second half of the weekend. Plenty of sunshine through the day today. Highs 63 to 67. You can see Futurecast showing the clear skies through the evening and overnight. Partly cloudy overnight, not anticipating widespread frost. If anybody sees an isolated patchy frost, it's going to be well interior Delmarva with an east wind tomorrow. We start off with sunshine with increasing high clouds through the day. The weekend starts dry but cloudy, and then we'll see showers develop late Saturday. Winds will be out of the northeast, anywhere between about 20-25 miles an hour through the afternoon today. We'll see more of an east wind tomorrow, and then we're quite breezy Saturday, and then it turns quite windy into Sunday. Rain chances ramp up Saturday night through Sunday and then continue into the start of next week, all thanks to this coastal storm. Still some uncertainties as the overall intensity and track of this system, but we could be dealing with upwards of 3 to 5 plus inches of rain, 40 to 60 mile an hour winds, as well as that threat of coastal flooding and beach erosion. So Futurecast shows Saturday increasing clouds with the rain, and then the brunt of that rain coming in Sunday afternoon through Sunday evening. And that area of low pressure, according to this model, very close to the Delmarva Peninsula. And then we see the rain and wind come to an end by Tuesday. We're at 64, mostly sunny skies today, 44 overnight. Under mainly clear skies, 66 for our Friday. Sun to clouds, overcast Saturday. Most of the day is dry. That rain will begin from south to north throughout the day. And then we're looking at that rain and wind and potentially lingering into early next week. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Delaware State Police say they are still looking for 43-year-old Darnell Andrews from Millsboro. Police say now they are asking for your help. Andrews is wanted for felony assault charges after a domestic-related altercation. Troopers say it happened in the Rehoboth Walmart parking lot. They say they have made attempts to contact and locate Andrews and have been unsuccessful.
A Talbot County town is looking into safety improvements along Route 50. This after a deadly crash Saturday morning. Police say the hit and run killed a 68-year-old bicyclist. And at Monday's Easton Town Council meeting, President Don Abbatilio said he was, quote, pleading with the state to consider adding speed cameras to Route 50, among other safety improvements. The town says it cannot put these cameras in without state approval, so nothing official yet. But people living in Easton tell us it's time safety changes are made.
I mean, it's not safe for people trying to get to and from areas that are on 50. You know, even crossing 50, even on one of the crosswalks is dangerous.
Abbatilio says he hopes they will consider new options to improve safety for walkers, bikers, and drivers.
Happening today, a partial lane closure in Salisbury is set to end as the city finishes storm drain maintenance. According to the city, it is located at East Naylor Mill Road. That's the area right here on your screen. Work is taking place between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. City leaders say no full road closures are planned and access to nearby businesses will stay open.
Up next, self-sufficient forest. We'll tell you what leaders in Lewis say they will do to ensure the 4th Street Preserve that it can thrive on its own. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
We have an update to a story we brought to you on Wednesday. Lewis is moving forward with plans to restore the 4th Street Preserve. It's a project aimed at turning an open plot of land into a wooded habitat for native species. The city's Economic, Environment, and Resiliency Committee met this week to discuss the next steps in creating a healthy and balanced ecosystem. Organizers say they will begin removing the English ivy from the preserve this fall, marking the first step in managing invasive plants.
This is going to be able to help them gather information as to, I guess, the soil and other vital studies to create a nice place for all of us to enjoy.
Other action items include getting permits from the Sussex Conservation District for stormwater management and developing a 10-year habitat restoration plan that aims to combine simultaneous native tree planting with invasive species removal. Organizers say the long-term vision is a self-sufficient forest that supports biodiversity, wildlife, and community access. Feeling like fall outside, this cool weather is definitely nice thing, but the fall allergies, Chris and I, we are suffering today.
Yeah, I'm hoping I don't join you with that
it's
because
not fun. Don't join the club. Yes.
They often hit me, so it just might be a matter of time, but not
those sinuses
not yet so
today.
Yeah, thankfully the Phillies make me feel a little better this morning. We've been battling bad sports losses and sinus pressure this week. As we take a live look into Ocean View, beautiful shot there of the bridge, and we are looking at a really nice day, but a breezy one at that, especially at the coast. We're at 57 degrees, and Ocean City beginning in the 50s. We'll see only highs in the low to mid 60s there today as we make our way into Rehoboth. Mid 60s for the afternoon under mostly sunny skies. A gorgeous day. High risk of rip current, so keep that in mind as we make our way through Cambridge. Crisfield 62 by around your lunchtime, and Crisfield 64. And not as breezy there with that northeast wind. We have Michael Hobbs. Congratulations, Millsboro, Delaware. You're the winner of our Coast TV weather umbrella. And as always, you can get your latest forecast by dialing the First Alert weather phone. Coming up, we'll talk more about that coastal storm threat in the next half hour. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. And after the break on Coast TV News Today, Governor on gun violence prevention. We'll tell you how Governor Matt Meyer says he's working to develop policies and programs to drive down gun violence.
Also, classic cars on the coast, what you can expect at this year's Endless Summer Cruisin event in Ocean City.
And Millville Medical Center plans. We'll tell you what BB Healthcare is proposing that's set to be discussed today. Coast TV News Today will be right back.
Now on Coast TV News.
Gun violence focus. Delaware Governor Matt Meyer says he is seeking solutions to the issue, what to expect at his listening session in Georgetown tonight.
Toning down dogs, what owners need to know as the law on barking goes into effect today in Delaware.
A chilly, breezy start to our Thursday. A beautiful afternoon as a fall chill will be in the air. All the latest on a potential coastal low that could impact Delmarva over the weekend.
Ready to rev up. We have the return of the popular Endless Summer Cruisin event that starts today in Ocean City.
This is Coast TV News Today.
October 9th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
6:32. How about this monster day for you Philadelphia sports fans out there? The Phillies face elimination again in the NLDS. Eagles, Thursday night football. I know you're paying attention to that one. Season opener for the Flyers.
Yes, I just love Philly sports. No, just kidding. But Chris, I hope that all of your games go well tonight. I am rooting for you, Chris, and our producer, Alyssa, because no one wants to work with Phillies fans when their teams lose.
It's a good one.
It's true.
Yeah, tomorrow could be a pretty bad morning. I'm not talking about weather-wise either. So hopefully we get those wins tonight as we take a live look into a beautiful shot here of Ocean View as we await that sunrise at 7:05 this morning. 57 degrees. Remember this time yesterday we had the dew points in the upper 60s. Felt very tropical out, although a cold front came through and pushed the humidity right out to sea. We're seeing about a 22-degree temperature change 24 hours in Dover. The 24-hour temperature change in Georgetown, 18 degrees cooler, and Salisbury, 21. We're at 49 in Millsboro. We are at 59 in Lewis, and you see those winds out of the northeast gusting upwards of 27 Indian River Inlet to 20 in Rehoboth. Well, we are clear, we're dry, and we're going to stay that way over the next few days, all thanks to high pressure off to our north. Plenty of sunshine through the day today, highs reaching the mid to upper 60s. Beautiful but breezy with that wind coming off the ocean, gusting upwards of 20 to 25 miles an hour. Then we focus our attention on the weekend, that potential coastal storm that will bring a wide range of impacts depending upon the track and intensity. We could see heavy rain, high winds, especially at the coast, coastal flooding, as well as beach erosion. We'll talk more about that coming up here in a little bit. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Our top story this half hour, improvement plans for a Millville healthcare facility. That is what is under consideration at the town's planning and zoning meeting tonight. According to the agenda, there is a proposal from BB Medical that outlines plans for parking lot improvements at the Creekside Plaza property. The project would add 14 new spaces and includes a shared use parking easement. And here's why they want that. BB says the easement will help manage access and traffic flow. That site is located off of Route 26.
And we're now taking a live look at Ocean City. In this area of the town, we will see and hear some classic cars today. The annual Endless Summer Cruisin event is back in Ocean City, and on your screen right now is what it looked like in 2024. Four-day event showcases hundreds of different and unique cars, from hot rods to classics, trucks, and even some of the newest cars hitting the streets. This event runs until Sunday night.
And here's the schedule for today's events. The Boardwalk Parade begins at 8 o'clock this morning. The car shows at both the Inlet and the Ocean City Convention Center start at 9 a.m. At 1 p.m., it's the morning awards ceremony at the Inlet and Convention Center. And this afternoon's awards will be held at 4:30.
New this morning, barking dogs must now tone it down in Delaware. House Bill 124 taking effect today. And according to the legislation, owners are banned from allowing their dogs to bark for extended periods of time. The legislation describes this as continuously for 15 minutes or intermittently 30 minutes or more. And while there are a few conditional exceptions, dog owners could face a fine of $150 for violations.
Happening today in Georgetown, the latest of Delaware Governor Matt Myers' statewide listening sessions on gun violence prevention. Myers says the purpose of these sessions is to help develop policies and programs to drive down gun violence cases. In May, Myers signed an executive order creating the Office of Gun Violence Prevention and Community Safety. Today's listening session will be held at 6 o'clock at the Delaware State Fire School on Park Avenue.
Also happening today, Sussex County Emergency Operations Center is recognizing its first responders. The agency says today is 911 Awareness Day. And on your screen is how county leaders recognize this in 2024. Students from all over Sussex County were able to find out what it is like to be a first responder. Children learned about different first responder agencies. Now, this is an annual event that has occurred since 2003.
Delaware State Police are investigating a deadly single-car crash in Seaford Wednesday afternoon. According to troopers, around 3 o'clock, a Buick Enclave was heading north here on Seaford Road when, for unknown reasons, the car went off the road and hit a tree. Police say the driver passed away and their identity is being withheld until family members are notified. This just in, a possible end to the Israel-Hamas war appears to finally be here. That's after negotiators reached an agreement on a path to a ceasefire.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he's convening his government to sign off on it today. And as Amy Kiley shows us, the first steps could end the suffering of thousands.
This really is the end of the war.
Israel and Hamas say they have agreed to phase one of a ceasefire plan.
The next few days, with each side has to do certain things. The Israelis have to pull out. Hamas needs to release the hostages. Israel needs to release prisoners.
Hamas and its allies are holding 48 hostages. The Israeli government believes 20 are alive. President Donald Trump says their release could begin Monday. Many Israelis are expressing gratitude toward the U.S.
what we're witnessing is peace through pressure.
The Hostages and Missing Families Forum says members are excited, but adds, quote, "Our struggle is not over and will not end until the last hostage returns home." Reports out of Gaza say people there clapped and cheered at the news.
It's incredibly quiet from the skies. Come on!
The United Nations says it will supply sustained humanitarian relief to Gazans. Trump says other Mideast countries plan to help with reconstruction.
I think Gazans will have massive relief as the war stops.
Experts say the next phase of the ceasefire plan will be harder to implement.
It speaks about reconstruction in Gaza. It speaks about an international security force. All of those things are very complicated.
I'm Amy Kindly reporting.
Authorities have arrested a man they say is accused of starting a fire that eventually led to the wildfire that ravaged California's Pacific Palisades, killing 12 people and destroying thousands of homes and businesses earlier this year. The arson suspect, 29-year-old Jonathan Rinderknecht, is facing federal charge of destruction of property by means of fire. According to the acting U.S. Attorney for Central California, authorities say the suspect prompted ChatGPT to generate an image of a burning forest in the months before allegedly starting the fire.
Geolocation data for the 911 calls showed that he was standing above the fire in a clearing merely 30 feet from the blaze as it rapidly grew.
The Palisades fire began on January 7th. The suspect did not enter a plea during his first appearance in federal court in Orlando on Wednesday.
And we have a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, landfill looks at new technology. We'll tell you how this business in Wycomico County could become more sustainable.
Also, Phillies stay alive, how the Bats came to life on the West Coast. We'll recap Game 3 of their playoff series against the Dodgers.
And seeking whose bunny this belongs to, lost from his home where Rehoboth Beach police say you can find the animal if it is yours. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
It is a beautiful, cool start to our Thursday morning here on Delmarva. As we take a look here in Laurel, nice fiery shot there. Sunrise at 7:05. We're at 49 in Laurel, dew point 42. So it is much drier, much cooler than yesterday morning. And temperatures are going to be rising to about 59 by around 10 a.m. under sunny skies. We're at 48 in Milford, 51 Georgetown, 55 Long Neck to 59 in Bethany Beach. We're under the influence of high pressure to our north, funneling in the north to northeasterly wind flow, and look at that, pretty dry throughout much of the Great Lakes, the Midwest, and the Northeast, and it's going to stay that way at least for the next few days, and then unfortunately it goes downhill by the end of the weekend. So if you're making your way out to the Endless Summer Cruisin Festival there in Ocean City, Maryland, today and tomorrow are going to be your best days. I think most of Saturday is dry. Rain will move in late in the day, but Sunday, not the day. Rain, wind, and that wind could be quite gusty. We'll talk more about that coming up in the full 7-day forecast.
Okay, thank you, Chris. In Lewis, BB. Let's actually move on here.
Dewey Beach is offering a new way to support the town while also becoming a part of Dewey history. Bricks can be purchased for $300 and will be used for a new town hall project. The brick purchased will be permanently on display in the facility's new walkway. This serves as a great opportunity to commemorate loved ones or showcase a business.
All right, we're having some technical difficulties there. Appreciate your patience. But let's take a look at what's coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network. At 8:30, Bayside Conference Field Hockey. That's when Easton takes on Pocomoke. Then it's the final score at 10:30 on DSM+. Here's your exclusives. 4 p.m., Easiac Boys Soccer when Worcester Prep travels to Holly Grove. Decatur is at Bennett in girls soccer. In field hockey, Decatur travels to Kent Island. And at 5:30, we have Cesar Rodney in Dover in girls high school volleyball.
And get ready for another week in the NFL regular season. We have your Sunday Night Football right here on Coast TV. This week you can catch the Detroit Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs. Coverage begins at 7, then stay right here for your local news after the game. And if you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Well, that chill in the air today, well, you're going to feel it. We're seeing temperatures only getting into the low to mid 60s through the afternoon. Mostly sunny skies. Yes, feeling fall-like indeed. And we're going to talk about a potential high-impact storm over the weekend affecting all of Delmarva. I'll break it down right after the break.
We are taking a live look outside at Laurel this morning with a beautiful sunrise there happening. It's nice to see, Chris, the sun outside today. No rain like yesterday, but it is chilly outside. Definitely feeling like fall.
Yeah, definitely some good running weather. A bit breezy at the coast, but we are going to see plenty of sunshine today, and that fall-like feel is definitely in the air this morning. Look at the 24-hour temperature change across the Delmarva. 21 degrees cooler, Salisbury, 22 degrees cooler there in Dover, and we're at 18 degrees cooler in Georgetown. We're holding a 51 Georgetown, 49 Laurel, 49 in Salisbury. We're at 55 Longneck. We are in the mid to upper 50s here at the coast with that wind coming in off the Atlantic, gusting to 22 miles an hour. Rehoboth, 26 in Indian River Inlet, and that has prompted those coastal flood advisories through the high tide cycle over the next 2 days. We could be dealing with up to a foot of inundation, and that is unfortunately only a taste of what's to come by the end of the weekend as we deal with this coastal storm, and storm watches are up for the entire Delmarva coast. This is primarily for the coastal waters of the Atlantic, and there's those frost advisories north and west of the I-95 corridor getting ever so closely to the Delmarva Peninsula. We are clear and dry throughout much of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic and much of the Great Lakes as well. Not a whole lot going on. Big area of high pressure north of the Great Lakes in Canada, and that's going to keep us sunny and dry over the next 2 days. We're breezy today, temperatures mid-60s. As we go into the weekend, watching that coastal storm threat, it's all going to be about the track and the intensity as to how major impacts we do see here on Delmarva. Mostly sunny skies through the day today, 64 to about 66 inland to the eastern shore. Futurecast shows the northeast wind flow. We're clear, we're dry, more of an east wind kicking in Friday, and again, some patchy frost is possible mid-shore, western Sussex, western Kent County, some of those areas falling into the upper 30s. But we start the day Friday with sunshine. High clouds increase throughout the day, and we're looking at an overcast start to the weekend. Winds gusting 20-25 miles an hour out of the northeast today, and we'll see more of a northeast wind kick in through the weekend, and then a breezy Saturday kicking off that coastal storm late Saturday through Sunday. You can see rain chances ramp up big time. So there's the threat as we go into Sunday. We're looking at primarily could see upwards of 3 to 5 inches of rain, again, all depending upon how close this area of low pressure gets to us. 40 to 60 mile an hour winds possible. Rain develops late Saturday, light, and then you could see some potential heavy rains and wind developing along Sunday. This type of scenario would really do a lot of beach erosion here along the coast as well as coastal flooding, and then that low could linger into early Tuesday before we clear things out into the middle part of next week. So we're at 64 today, sunny skies, 44 overnight, some of our coolest spots getting into the upper 30s. 66 by Friday, and we're looking at that coastal low pushing that rain into the area Sunday. Again, we're going to continue to fine-tune the track and the overall intensity as to how significant the impacts are going to be into the early part of next week. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Cutting-edge technology could be on the way to the Wicomico County landfill. This is called a Wagabox, essentially. It converts harmful greenhouse gases into a renewable energy source, which is then pumped into the grid and can be used to power people's homes. The idea was presented to the Wicomico County Council Wednesday night, and the landfill's acting superintendent says he hopes it gets approved, saying it would benefit the county in several ways.
You have the ability to not only maintain better environmental compliance, to also upgrade your systems and be a better steward, and at the same time get some extra money in the bank. That makes a big difference for us.
Corey says the Wagabox would also create jobs and bring money into the county. If the Wicomico County Council gives it the green light, it could be installed and up and running in about 2 years.
Is this anybody's bunny? Rehoboth Beach police say they found the adorable fluff ball at Turtle Bridge near the Stockley Tot lot, and if you're the owner or know who is, police say they handed the bunny over to the Brandywine Valley SPCA.
And the time is now 6:52, and we are going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And we got two today. Two coastal pets on your screen right now are Savannah and Harper, and as you can see, they love feeling the wind through their fur. Savannah and Harper were submitted to us by Helen and Steve in Milford.
I think Savannah and Harper will enjoy the cool weather today. We want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
Yeah, scan that QR code there. That way you can get your friends to us and then watch weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
And here's what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Well, we're getting closer and closer to the end of the week, but we're not quite there yet. And we've got a little more fun for you if you join us today at 4 o'clock on Coast Life. It is spooky season, so we're going to be checking out a really cool haunted house. Speaking of October, there's plenty more going on to celebrate both spooky season and the not so spooky events over at Shelbyville. And because it is Thursday, we can't get through the day without spilling a little tea, spilling a little drama. Ooh, this one has to do with our four-legged friends. All that fun and more is happening today at 4 on Coast Life. We'll see you then.
It is 6:55, and here are the things you need to know before you go. Slowing down in Ocean City with the start of Endless Summer Cruisin. Town leaders confirm the implementation of a special event zone. According to police, enhanced parking rules and higher violation fines are going into place today through October 12th. The town says it expects thousands of visitors and heavy congestion.
Happening today in Georgetown, the latest of Delaware Governor Matt Myers' statewide listening sessions on gun violence prevention. Myers says the purpose of the sessions is to help develop policies and programs to drive down gun violence cases. In May, Myers signed an executive order creating the Office of Gun Violence Prevention and Community Safety. Today's session is at 6 p.m. at the Delaware State Fire School on Park Avenue.
It is 6:56, and we are going to take another look at your forecast before you head out the door.
Chris, I think this is what we expect for a fall day in October.
Yeah, we said so long to that humidity and the warm temperatures we had over the last few days. So if you're making your way out to Endless Summer Cruisin there in Ocean City, looking fantastic today, 63. It's going to be a bit breezy with winds gusting upwards of 30 miles an hour. Tomorrow looking good as well. We'll see clouds only increase late. But then, unfortunately, it goes downhill over the weekend, especially late Saturday through Sunday. Sunday is really the day we're targeting for the worst impacts of this coastal system. We'll see rain, wind, coastal flooding, beach erosion likely. Again, all depends on the intensity and the track of this storm. And that rain and wind will continue into Monday, and then we'll dry out into the early part of next week, 67 there on Tuesday, and then we're back up to 70 by Wednesday. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News today.
And the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
Then we'll be back for Coast TV News midday at 11.
And for even more news and coverage you can count on, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great Thursday morning, everybody.